I want to very quickly tell you about two different things and then relate that to us as a Christian. Our internet was kind of, over the last few weeks, intermittent. It would quit, start back, and we have the phone through Spectrum as well, and sometimes we didn't have phone. And so finally I called them up and says, hey, we got a problem. And so they said, well, how about somebody come out between 9 and 10 on Wednesday? I said, okay. He got there at 10 after 9. Hey, I'm impressed already. And then, I don't know exactly if he found a problem, but he replaced the line from the pole to the house. And then he said, I need to go up in the attic and check the lines. How do you get in your attic? I said, well, I don't have a scuttle hole. You have to go around to the outside of the house in the storage room and climb up on the outside wall. And then you have to, for about 40 feet or so, you have to crawl over 2 2x4s. And then you get to where the house was added on to, and you have to kind of scuttle through a little hole. I said, I touch on all sides of that hole now. I'm glad you're smaller than I am. And then you've got to go to the other end of the house. And you kind of, at that point, you're duck walking. And you have 2 air conditioner things to get over. And when he came down out of the attic, I said, all right, tell me, what's the worst attic you've ever been in? He says, yours. But he didn't hesitate. It's summertime. Thankfully, today was a little cooler. But it was just kind of this way. No matter how hard it is, no matter how hot it is, that's part of my job. I do my job, and I do it well. And so I'm going to do it. I was asked a question a few days ago. It was through email, responded by email, and it was about Abraham and about Abraham offering Isaac. And now the kind of question was about, later on I find that God's against human sacrifice, and so how is it God's asking Abraham to do this, and then how is Abraham doing this kind of in light of that? Well, I gave the best answer I could, but there again it brings to mind Abraham was asked to do something that was hard to do, but yet with faith in God, and such a strong faith, to the servant, we're going to go up and we're going to come back. He knew that the promises were going to come through Isaac. Isaac in some way had to live for that to happen. But still, I think we'd recognize how hard it would be, even with that kind of faith. Well, I can promise you, in living the Christian life, there's going to be some things that we just find hard to do. And I think that if you were just honest with yourself, you could right now begin to think of things that you as a Christian know you're to do, but it's not necessarily easy to do. But we're a Christian. Just like that fellow from Spectrum was the repairman. He did it no matter the difficulty. Just like Abraham was a follower of God the Almighty, he did it no matter the difficulty. And so we ought to be, as Christians, we do what God says, regardless of the difficulty. Somebody might say, well, now what passage would you use with that? The whole thing. Doesn't it teach that? If we could assist you in your obedience tonight, whether it's you need to be baptized for the remission of sins, whether there's need for prayer, we could assist you with those things tonight. Please come as we stand and sing.